let's just take a step back. This is historic. We now have the President of the United States and the Democratic frontrunner competing on who can be the best on criminal justice reform. For my entire adult life, the parties have been racing who can put the most people in prison, who can be the toughest on crime, and now you have them both arguing and debating, no, I'll be better at reform, I'll be better at reform. So as silly as some of this stuff is, I mean, obviously, Trump can't say to, Biden, well, because of your past, nobody can vote for you. You could go back and forth on that. But fundamentally, what you've got is a historic watershed that is now showing up in the presidential election. Both parties now trying to move in the direction of reform. Now, listen, if they want to go record to record, here's reality. Trump can say, I was better than the Obama administration on legislation because he passed the First Step Act. But he's worse than the Obama administration on administration. In other words, the Department of Justice under Trump has actually gone backwards in a lot of ways, has not implemented the First Step Act well enough. So Trump can be strong, say, listen, I'm better than you on legislation. Biden can say, I was better at you on administration. So they both have strengths, they both have weaknesses. But I am just jumping up and down because we now have both parties saying they want to do better. And that's a good thing. And I will say this as well. We've got to give Trump credit where credit is due. He did fight hard to pass the bill, and he made it possible for other Republicans to also be in the pro-criminal justice camp. That is a positive thing. Now, he's going to play politics with it. That's what politicians do. But now you have two parties that are healthy, and that's good.
So, okay, I hear you're saying there's a silver lining in this, maybe even a gold lining, as you're describing it. But the politics of this, I'm curious what you think about this. Because, look, we know Trump, when you look at his past, he's not the ideal messenger on the issue of criminal justice, despite the signing of the recent bill, right? He took out full-page ads. He called for the death penalty for the Central Park Five, those 5 teens who were convicted in the rape of the Central Park jogger in 1989. And then when they were exonerated after spending years in prison, he still questioned their innocence. And he's talking about, he's saying, should Joe Biden, has he apologized? So I guess this is my question, though. Politically speaking, does that matter? Because his supporters don't really seem dissuaded by that. But on the flip side, will Democratic voters be deterred from supporting Biden for his past with the crime bill?
This is going to play itself out over a period of time. Obviously, Trump owes a lot of people apologies. If he wants to encourage Joe Biden to apologize, Biden probably will get around to apologizing for it. Bill Clinton has. I think Hillary Clinton has. But if we're going to go down the apology tour road, I mean, Trump still has not apologized to the Central Park victims of that Central Park jogger mishandled case. So that stuff will go back and forth. Here's what I want to add as well. Look, you now have an opportunity, I think, for Biden to get out of this situation. He's going to have to resist the temptation to go back and say, well, listen, this part of the bill was good and that part wasn't good, whatever. Just say, listen, we did the best we could at that time. We made some mistakes. Here's what we tried to do under the Obama administration to make it better. Republicans stopped us. And here's what I would do if I were there.
Okay, but let's...
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was saying, well, let's look at, I hear what you're saying there, because we've been discussing this. How does he negotiate this issue and his record? But, especially for you, someone who works advocating for criminal justice reform, when you, on the issue of mass incarceration, listen to Biden, and he says, very counter to what you're saying that he should be doing. He says the 94 crime bill did not generate mass incarceration. That is what he said. So, what do you say to that statement? That certainly is not... That is not handling this issue the way you're saying he should.
He'll get there. He'll get there. Listen, I understand why he's defensive. It set the table for, incarceration had been going up. It accelerated it. It set the table for states to do more. He'll have to come to terms with that, and he'll have to just get his legs under him on that. But he has a case that he can make for himself.
But you're saying that's not correct, right? What he said, but he has a case to make.
Yeah, listen. If you get super technical, you can say a lot of the growth in the system that we don't like happened before the '94 crime bill, and the bill accelerated, and then you had states to take it further. So you could say my bill in particular is not responsible for all the damage. Fine, Mr. Biden, great. That's really not helping him very much because it's so technical. I think the smarter thing for him to say is, listen, we did the best that we could at the time. we learned, and then he can point to the Obama administration's record. The Obama administration, though they didn't get a bill passed, did a lot at the Department of Justice level. I mean, they did a great job there. He should be bragging on what the Obamas did administratively. He should be challenging Trump to listen, if you want to be Mr. Criminal Justice, President Trump, what you need to do is put back in place the stuff that the Obama-Biden administration had in place at the Department of Justice. And he can have a substantive debate about that and then talk about what he wants to do next. If he gets stuck and tricked by Trump into trying to relitigate this old bill, as opposed to just apologizing for it and bragging on his record under Obama, he's playing into Trump's hands. But I can't tell you how excited I am that now people are doing all of this around the question of mass incarceration and criminal justice. I mean, this has gone, listen, in 2008, this was not on the agenda for Democrats. 2012, not on the agenda for Democrats. It wasn't even on the agenda for Democrats at the national level until 2016. And in 2020, the big heavyweight fight is going to be on this issue for all the people out there who've been working on this issue for years and years and years and got no attention, lost, had cases lost ballot measures. This is a big deal. This is a good thing. I let them fight this out. I'm so happy and make the Republicans get better, make the Democrats get better, and let's start closing prisons and bring this chapter to a close of mass incarceration in the United States.
You did everything but throw confetti there, Van Jones. Thank you